Hey guys, this is Omer from MMOs.com doing a quick weekly news recap of all major MMO news and announcements for the week ending May 7th, 2018. This is episode number 146 of the recap, and the first bit of news this week comes from Daybreak Games, and it's more of a rumor than actual announcements. According to a Reddit post by a former Daybreak Games company employee, Daybreak has been working on EverQuest 3 as well as Planetside 3, along with some big changes for H1Z1, such as a smaller map and a Z1 remake and more. EverQuest 2 is also set to be getting one more expansion filled with nostalgic content as a bid farewell as the game's last expansion. Keep in mind though, all of this is based on a Reddit post by someone claiming to be an ex-Daybreak employee. Until things are announced though, take it with a grain of salt. Still, EverQuest 3 and Planetside 3 are pretty hype if it's real. Next up, some unfortunate news for the few fans of Jade Dynasty and Swordsman Online out there. Perfect World Entertainment announced this week that both Jade Dynasty and Swordsman will be shutting down on June 5th, 2018. This bit of news really shouldn't come as a big surprise to anyone, as both these titles have been basically dead for a while already. Perfect World Entertainment really only has a handful of games left going forward. They basically have all the cryptic titles, Champions Online, Neverwinter, and Star Trek Online, as well as Perfect World International and Forsaken World. And that's really it. They already shut down Ether Saga and Battle of the Immortals and War of the Immortals already, so it looks like Perfect World is kind of pulling out of the American market to a degree with the shutdown of Jade Dynasty and Swordsman. So rest in pepperoni in those games. Next up, also in game shutting down news, Alliance of Valiant Arms announced this week that they'll be shutting down the game for good on June 29th, 2018. Alliance of Valiant Arms, for those that don't know, was a free-to-play tactical shooter with a bit of a long history. It was first available through EG for quite a few years, and then it moved to Area Games, and then finally moved over to Inmass, the company best known for publishing Terra. Unfortunately for it though, the games like Black Squad simply outclassed it. I actually played a lot of AVA back in the day, both on EG as well as Area Games, but after playing quite a bit of Black Squad, it just seems like there's little reason for this game to exist, because it was never as popular as games like Combat Arms either, so it just couldn't survive with the small player base that it had. So rest in pepperoni, Alliance of Valiant Arms. Next, New has released class spotlight videos for Bless Online showing off the Berserker, the Ranger, and the Mage, as well as the game's new combat system with these new class trailer videos. And while nothing new has really been revealed, it's still kind of cool to see these classes in action. Bless itself is set to launch into early access later this month, and it'll be a buy-to-play title. It will have a cash shop though, and they have promised to make the cash shop fair, but then again, literally everyone says their cash shop will be fair, so we'll have to wait and see what it actually ends up looking like. I'm definitely excited for this one and Maple Story 2. Those are the games I am most excited for this year. Next up, it's a more traditional MMORPG news. Soulworker introduced a new fighting character named Jin Sepatsu, the game's 5th playable class and character. Also available with the most recent update is a new raid titled Golden Citadel. This is definitely the game's biggest update since launch, and given how popular Soulworker is at the moment, I expect that we'll be seeing more and more regular updates. Soulworker has been averaging about 3,725 concurrent users over the last 30 days, which is still quite excellent, and more than Critica as well as Closers. And in the off chance you haven't heard of this one, it's yet another one of those action MMORPGs with instance dungeons and persistent towns. The beautiful thing about Soulworker is it's really nice anime art. I think it looks superb. Probably the best anime graphics I've seen in an action MMORPG. Next, a small update for Echo of Soul Phoenix. Yes, Echo of Soul is still a thing. The latest update this week adds new PvP field, 2 new dungeons, a new level up event, where every level gives players another free bonus level, so it's a bit like the Burning event in Maple Story. Game Ago also announced that the game is now available in North Africa and the Middle East, which should give the game's player base a bit of a boost. The original version of Echo of Soul will be shutting down on May 23rd, 2018, and after that, only the Phoenix servers will remain open. Though I haven't touched this one since release. It just was really a subpar, average game, but it's still around apparently. Right along, we have yet another online game launching a Kickstarter campaign titled Last Epoch, which will be an action RPG which looks a lot like Path of Exile and Diablo 3. While I'm normally extremely skeptical about Kickstarter-funded games, Last Epoch actually looks like they made a considerable amount of progress before coming to Kickstarter. There's actually already a playable demo out there, and it's actually quite functional. It's actually one of the more impressive Kickstarter pitches I've seen, as they have a lot more than just an idea. I'll give the playable demo a try, and if you like what you see, then maybe consider backing it. Once Last Epoch launches though, it'll be free to play up until level 20. Afterwards, you'll have to buy it for a one-time payment of $14.99. I'm not super sold on the business model though, as you have an excellent game like Path of Exile already, which is fully free to play, so I'm not sure how many people will be willing to pay for this, but we'll have to wait and see. Next up, Square Enix is hosting a maximum discount campaign for Final Fantasy XI. From May 16th until May 31st, players can purchase the Ultimate Collection Seeker Edition of the game for $9.99, which gives players access to the full game plus all expansions. World transfers are also discounted from $18 down to $9. There's also a Return Home to Vanadil event going on, which gives returning players free access to the game during those same dates, May 16th to May 31st. Now, this is a really old game. If you never played Final Fantasy XI growing up, I don't recommend jumping into it, but if you played in the past, it's a really cool chance to come back and play entirely for free to see what's changed. And if you played before, it'll be a fun time to come back, but it's a really hard game to get into for new players. Next, Runescape introduced its new safe cracking mechanic to the game, which is accessible upon completing the Buyers and Sellers quest. There are a total of 49 safes all across Gelonir for players to find and crack. The update also adds some new UI tweaks, fixes some bugs, and more. In other RuneScape news, old school RuneScape began its closed beta testing on iOS relatively recently. Remember, while old and new RuneScape will be both launching on mobile eventually, old school RuneScape will be launching first. While there's no firm release date for it just yet, we do know that they're aiming for sometime in 2018 this year. And I'm actually really rooting for old school RuneScape to do well on mobile, because if it does really well, it'll push other developers to make some actual functional MMORPGs without the autoplay nonsense. So if it does well, I think we'll see a much better quality mobile games coming out afterwards, trying to mimic the actual MMORPG experience. So go old school RuneScape, and I hope it does well. Moving right along, Battlerite seems to be joining the Battle Royale fiesta, and no, that isn't a super late April Fool's joke either. Sunlock Studios announced on their Twitter page that they're working on a Battle Royale game mode for Battlerite, which will give players a chance to play their favorite heroes outside the traditional smaller Battlerite maps. Sunlock Studios aims to deliver a fresh and different take on the genre, and will likely be launching it sometime this summer. As a big fan of Battlerite, I'm kind of curious what they'll come up with. I think it could be really fun with the gameplay of Battlerite, but I'm curious how finding items are going to end up working, because are you going to be finding upgrades like Battlerites and just get those attached to you? But who knows, we'll learn more when this actually comes out, hopefully sometime this summer. Moving right along, Paladins is officially launching tomorrow on May 8th. It's been out for a while in open beta, but it's finally transitioning from open beta to full release. To celebrate the game's launch from open beta to release, everyone is getting 200 free crystals, which is the in-game premium currency, and they're giving that to everyone who's played the game's beta leading up to the release, so it's a free basic giveaway to everyone, which is awesome. There'll also be about 2 weeks worth of giveaways where you can get other goodies as well, but I do really like when a game gives everybody free cash shop currency. It's a rare treat, so I do like that they're doing that. And if you aren't keeping tabs on Paladins, the game still averages about 16,700 players online at a given time on Steam, which is actually quite incredible. It's actually one of the most played games on Steam, so Paladins is doing quite well. The next and last bit of news is a bit of an industry report from Newzoo showing the global games market in 2018, an estimate of the full year it looks like. And it looks like mobile is now over 51% of the entire games market, with basically PC and console games making up the other half. So basically PC and console are about evenly split, about 25% each, and the rest of the market is mobile, and that's after a monstrous 25% year-over-year growth versus only 1.6% for PC and looks like 4.1% year-over-year for console. It just shows you how much bigger mobile is getting already. It is growing incredibly fast. And actually, according to Newzoo, the numbers should be even more crazy by the time we get to 2021, and then mobile will be about 59% rather of the entire games market, as you can see in the graphic in the background. But yeah, that's it for MMO News this week. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the podcast. Should be fun as usual, and later, guys.